anybody who tells you otherwise is lying. They're scared. Maybe here's the difference though. Their fear doesn't necessarily exceed long term like most people do.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, they're like, hey, I need to invest $15 million in some building or whatever. They're going to be like, oh, what if this goes to shit? What happens if this? What if that? And you think all these things, but that level of uncertainty it's only around for a certain period of time, and then they dominate that uncertainty with action.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And so,
yeah.
so that's for me personally. That's the focus that I have. So for me, I'm scared all the time. Things I'm trying to do now, building my my resolution business. I have a few other things that I'm working on, but mainly my resolution business. Building that, I'm in terror, right? But one of the main reasons why we have fear is because of the unknown, and the unknown means a lack of certainty. So my responsibility is to build certainty in enough so when I'm making a decision to act or to move in a certain direction, I'm always happy. I'm always confident in my steps. I tell my wife this all the time. I work hard to be certain when I make a decision, because nobody wants to work with a wishy-washy person.
Right.
It's annoying. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. It's annoying. It's upsetting. I don't know. What do you want? What do you want? Like, no one wants to hear that. It's really annoying. And there's something inherent in a person that makes it really upsetting. And it also is something in a leader that makes them want to, we can talk about something and something you don't know about. And I'm telling you for a fact, and the way I'm speaking is confident, I have certainty in my voice, you're going to start to believe the things that I'm saying, right?
Right.
But if there's wavering in what I'm doing and my decisions and everything else, you're not gonna get on board. And then, so if you're not gonna get on board, imagine what's going on in my subconscious mind, right? I'm not gonna get on board. I'm gonna start second guessing everything I do. That's a horrible place to live. So especially in your own head. So back to your point of fear, that's literally how I focus on. That's how I get over fears. I'm like, here's another thing. I have my mentality, my philosophy of life is stoicism. I live as a stoic. I adhere to stoicism in a lot of forms. I was raised Catholic, Christian, and again they're not necessarily related, but stoicism and religion. But stoicism is sort of like a pseudo religion for me, where I believe that, and I know this for a fact, I'm going to die. Right? We're all going to die. All the stuff we're talking about, a lot of things that we obsess about don't really matter. No one gives a shit about any of those things. You will die, they put you in a box or whatever religion you're at, and they bury you, or they put you at sea, or whatever it is, and that's the end. And your spirit goes elsewhere, and you're a spiritual being. So for me, I look at it as like, well, if that's the case, if there's finality in this, why am I acting like my life is not final? Why am I wasting time? Right? And now it doesn't mean I have to be working every time. If I choose to sit down and watch a movie, everything I do has to be a choice.
Right.
And that's how I look at it. It's a choice. It's not, I have to do this. That's not that obligations turns into servitude, turns into slavery. Literally, that's literally what ends up happening. So everything I do, I tell myself it's a choice. I'm choosing to do this. I'm choosing to go here. I'm choosing to go to see these people I don't want to see. I'm choosing, and then I can explain to myself why I'm doing that. And so, if I know I'm going to die, why am I going to waste time like behaving like I'm going to be here forever?
Yeah. So you're a very calculated and busy person. What are you working on now? That's in this is actually now where this call will be released later in 2020, but it's January 3rd. So I'm sure you've already kind of set up some goals for yourself way beyond this. So what are some things you're working on right now and also in the future for yourself and for your company?
My main thing is increasing the level of investment in the company. So what that basically means is hiring and actually focusing, like the Pareto principle, 80% of my efforts on lead generation. And getting in front of people in the marketplace. So part of the problem is something I realized too is that when somebody doesn't know you or they don't know what you do, everybody's had this. I told this story before. I can't remember what I was doing. I Oh yeah, I used to have. I gave a speech at a conference once about getting media attention, how to get media attention and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I said is, if nobody knows you, no one's going to do business with you. And so and I said that the way you can see that is this. And I saw this I was at some business dinner, and this guy was like, "Yeah, I sold my house, and I went over here, and I'm moving over here now. It's great, and we're moving. We got to moving." And the guy next to him was like, I'm a realtor. How come you didn't, talk to me about da da da? He's like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. No, I'm sorry. My wife had a friend and a cousin. If that person was close enough to be at that business dinner, he was close enough to get the deal.
Right.
But the reason he get the deal is because the guy sitting next to him didn't remember that guy was a realtor.
Right.
And so that's the main problem people have. They're living in a life of obscurity. And so my goal was to get literally, I'm almost omnipresent in front of people everywhere, so they know what we do, what I do. And what I do is not just resolve taxes. What I do is give you peace of mind so you go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is keep money in your bank account. What I do is help you save money on taxes and get your penalties removed. Like that gives you the peace of mind that you can use your money to do something else, and it's not stuck in Uncle Sam's bank vaults. So.
Right.
So my focus basically is to get in front of as many people as possible, which if I do that, then I'll have the resources to scale adequately enough.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So with everything that you've done and experienced so far, what would you say has been the best advice that you have ever received?
I'll say one thing. There's a few different people have said different things, one of which is Grant Cardone. He's good dude. And I've had variations of this from other people, so I just remember him because I was just reading something recently. But it's making a decision and making a decision, getting certainty in your decision,
mm-hmm.
and then applying massive amounts of action to it. So we were talking earlier. I told you the 3 stories. All of those had those concepts. All of those had those factors. And that's anytime I've ever succeeded in anything, those were all a part of the equation. There's no luck. It's not. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm lucky that I was born to the parents I was born. I'm lucky that I was born in the Western Hemisphere. Like, I get all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there are probably, I don't know, 500 million people live in America and in the U.S., Canada and the U.S., and there are not that many people who are successful. And most people just live their lives like caterpillars, and then they just, get a pension and they die. And life, like, if you see your life as more valuable, and here's the other thing too, is, as a Stoic, if you see your life as more valuable, don't you think you can do more?
Mm-hmm.
Like, being productive is good for you, right? And so you'll talk to people and they say, oh, you should rest. I'm like, I can only understand and appreciate rest and vacation when I've worked hard.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't work hard, it doesn't mean anything to me. Not in the same level as it did me digging a ditch for a week and then having to sit for a couple of days. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. My feet hurt. You can appreciate each moment that you're spending by yourself or whatever you're doing for leisure time. But if you're not, people work, 5 days a week, barely work 5 hours a day. And then on the weekends, like, I've been working all day. You haven't really been doing anything, and it's fleeting. So for me, it's like, if I realize that time is, there's a ticking clock, can I increase my level of my production to get to my potential?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, Ebong, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I really appreciate it. If the listeners would like to read your book, see more about what you're working on, where are the best places they can go to do that?
So there's two areas. If you want to learn more about me personally, you can go to ebongeka.com, ebongeka.com. If you want to learn about my company, what we do for individuals and with back tax issues, it's called economicstaxrelief.com. So EKANOMICS taxrelief.com.
Yeah.
And if you want to get a copy of the book, you can either get it on my site, ebongeka.com, or you can go look it up in Barnes & Nobles or Amazon.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, Ebong, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll make sure all those go in the show notes so people can click right through.
Thank you so much. This has been awesome, so I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Advance Your Art podcast. If you like this episode, please go into iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button so that every single time I release a new episode, it will go directly to you without even thinking about it. If you're interested in hearing older episodes, please go to advanceyourart.com where you can find the catalog of everything I've done so far, as well as contact information and projects I'm working on. Thank you again, and have a great day.